and you can Google the pictures. You go to a mobile harp on Google, press images, and you'll see it. And it looks like a small oil rig, if you will. And yeah, very, very, very creepy. So if they could put this on water, they could put this in the air. They can possibly attach it some way, no doubt about it, with technology to airplanes under the water with submarines, which is probably why we're having so much earthquakes all over the place. They're probably going underneath the water.
Right.
You know, and this fits in with step 3 too, Howard, of Project Bluebeam, because they use ELFs and VLFs. And VLFs are very low frequencies. You know, ELFs is probably what you got hit with. It's an extra low frequency. And they can reach anybody on Earth. Okay?
I know.
So, I mean, Project Bluebeam comes hand in hand with HARP. Okay? And using the HARP wave technology, the ELF technology, it can be directly projected into your brain. That's a very scary scenario, too. It can cause the brain to receive messages like voice to skull, for example. Okay? It can give you instructions, words, commands, like you saw in the movie Manchurian Candidate.
Right.
Okay?
Oh, yeah. No, I absolutely know that it's true. It goes in. It's also, you know, all funny how it all meets in the middle. The MK Ultra aspects of this, clearly. They could turn some normal housewife into a serial killer, couldn't they?
Oh, indeed, and I'm sure they've done it.
And isn't that maybe what's been happening with all these shootings lately, since they're obviously intent upon getting the guns away from the American people?
Yeah, I watched, occasionally I'll watch Oprah Winfrey, okay, because, you know, sometimes there's some good shit on it, right? So I was watching one about this mother in, I think it was South Carolina. She killed her 2 children. She was an African-American woman, 29 years old. And she had 3 children. She didn't touch the daughter, but she killed the 2 boys. She was very depressed. And she was telling Oprah over and over again she doesn't know why she did it. She's like, I had my hands around them. I had one hand on the mouth, the other hand on the nose, and I was suffocating them. And she's like, I couldn't stop. I wanted to die, and I wanted my children to die. This is what she was saying. And she didn't know why she felt that way. Because she's like, I loved my children. I never wanted to hurt them, but something just told me to do it. And even when I was killing them, I wanted to stop, but something kept telling me to do it. And when she was saying that, Oprah was kind of like giving her, you know, the third degree, if you will. Like telling her, like, oh, no, you know, like you were doing it because you... Basically calling her a monster. But I was starting to think, like, hey, maybe this woman was under the command of some sort of technology. Voice-to-skull type technology, which was giving her these commands to kill her children.
It's very possible. You know, again, this happened to me, as you know, with the weapon that they hit me with when I was doing a broadcast and I couldn't think. Remember, I couldn't put words together and all of that?
Yeah, I remember.
And interestingly enough, I'm just thinking now, because I had a very weird experience this afternoon, and I just want to share it with the viewers, is that I just recently started a new position with a new company, and my cell phone had an old message on it from the previous company. So for some reason, I was like having like a very difficult time changing my voicemail. What I mean is that I couldn't quite, like every time I would just get frustrated and it wouldn't work, and next thing you know, I'm just like, I'm pushing the wrong buttons. Like, I know the right buttons to push, but I'm pushing the wrong buttons. And I didn't put anything together with it. I was just because I was probably pissed. I was aggravated. But, wow, maybe they made me pissed and aggravated, hit me with something. Because they've been doing this to me for a long time. I guess it's very hard, I know, for people out there to believe. But it's really true. There is no doubt that these people are doing these things to people. Judge Judy. Remember Judge Judy had the same thing? Right? Isn't that true?
Yeah, she was, this was on TV too, where she was like, she couldn't get the correct words coming out of her mouth.
Right, so what is this, like just a coincidence? I doubt. There are no coincidences. Just like the fact that we're talking about these type of weapons, and that was the agenda for our show tonight, that we promoted on all of these. I mean, how many thousands of people are in these groups that we promote this to, right? So they know that we're doing this, they know the topic, and they used it against us.
Well, this is very interesting, Howard. There was a video clip, and I believe it may have been CNN, I'll say 80% certain that it was CNN. Actually broadcasted something earlier in the summer where they were showing the effects of cell phone towers on the human brain, and they had a bunch of news anchors standing along a beach, and then they would zap this cell phone tower, and it would interfere with all of the mechanics, which is normal. It's going to happen. And then I was watching Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura, and he was talking about ELFs and low frequency waves, and then so he brings people who were considered targeted individuals to a certain place. It's like a tower, and they're standing there and they're claiming they can feel a vibration through their feet. So an insider, a whistleblower that was talking about HAARP and Project Bluebeam, started talking to Jesse Ventura, and he played a news clip of the same type of news anchors. It was very similar to the scenario that CNN had portrayed, where they're along the beach and they're about to do the broadcast, and all of a sudden they feel this vibration through their body and they're fumbling their words. Like their words, instead of coming out the way that they want them to come out, they're coming out backwards. Right. Or even some of them had different words in different languages. And I remember once I was doing a radio show on another network a few years ago, and I started off my show and I was talking about HAARP and chemtrails. And I started doing my show. Everything's fine. And all of a sudden, I go on a break. I play a small clip. Well, the tech guys play the clip. I come back and I'm doing my show, and then until someone in Skype says, "Hey, could you please talk in English?" And I'm like, "I am talking." God. So I put the F word in there. I am talking in effing English. They're like, "No, you're speaking French." I had no idea I was speaking French.
Wow.
Now it happens when I'm drunk. Sometimes I'll start a conversation in English and then I'll switch to French.
Mm-hmm.
Being bilingual, living in Quebec, but not when I'm sober.
Right.
And I'd be aware of it. I wasn't even aware of it.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, they do some crazy things. They really do, and it's true. I don't know how people they see this and they're still skeptics, and they don't understand that we can be manipulated by these weapons that they have that are truly like in that letter, that alleged letter, that are truly above the militia. What are you gonna do? Shoot an AR-15 at a HAARP wave, or a death ray? Come on.
Exactly.
We have to realize that yes. They can't use these weapons at a mass extent without revealing them. That's why they do and I believe they're testing to do something. I don't know what it is, but they are planning something big, and it's frightening because the timing. It's all these things are coming into view at the same time. All the homeland activity here with the government. Buying all these rounds and buying all these things, tanks, and a lot of scary things going on. And whistleblowers here are saying that there's going to be some sort of an event between now and actually it was for October up to about now. Well, nothing has really surfaced that I can consider to be a tremendous event, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen 2 weeks from now or 2 months from now. If you remember when the event occurred with 9/11, William Cooper predicted it in June.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, all those FEMA coffins, and in Texas you have the FEMA mass graves, which are ready. They've been around for years, so something is imminent. It's going to happen. Now, we don't know if it's going to be something along the lines of a 9/11 type false flag, or if it's going to be along the lines of a Project Bluebeam fake alien attack. And when you look at this thing, it's called the Big Dogs. It's not spelled DOGS. It's DAWGS. If you Google it, you'll find a video of these creepy machines that kind of walk like a spider.
I've seen them. Yeah, DARPA made these things. They're really scary looking. It's very much like out of a sci-fi horror movie.
Exactly. And if you were to look at that, you would think, wow, from another world. But no, it's our own technology.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what the U.S. military says about HAARP, okay? That it can provide a way to wipe out communications over an extremely large area while keeping the military's own communication system working. So it can be used for brain control. And just figure this. If they can wipe out all of your communications but keep the military's communications or the government's communications flowing, then you know that their technology far supersedes anything we know about.
That's true. That is true. And, they're at least 100 years advanced. We know that.
Yeah.
You know, we know this. So they're talking about stuff that comes out. Communicators. Remember in Star Trek, the communicator. Isn't it funny how it looks just like a cell phone?
Yeah.
These things, they already had that technology. They had wireless phones. They had cell phones in the 60s.
Yeah.
It was, so the technology is there, and it's just the folks they just don't get it. We're trying to wake people up to this, and I know this is a tough subject, because if you are a skeptic, boy, this is one of the big things that they'll say, that's crazy. But why do they have these facilities? Why are they doing this? Why are they spraying these chemtrails? Why are they putting fluoride in the water? All of it is to control the population.
Exactly.
It's obvious.
They're doing it on your own home soil.
Yes.
It's not against. They're not doing it because it's a war against terrorism, terrorists. They're doing it on you, the people, on us.
That's right.
Now, some will say we elect these people into office. I prefer to think that they are selected into office, but that doesn't give them the right to do the things that they're doing.
Right.
Because I guarantee you, they're not the ones drinking the fluoridated water. They're not the ones taking the vaccines. I guarantee you that. When you watch CNN and you see Obama getting a flu shot, he's not getting a flu shot.
Absolutely not. It's a big fraud.
That's an illusion.
Of course. It's all propaganda.
Exactly. So here's step 4. Now we're already in step 1, 2, and 3 of Project Bluebeam. So this is step 4, the next one to come, and it's actually something that we might already be in too, if you want to think that UFOs might be holographic. All right. So you have electronic universal supernatural manifestation designed to deceive will create the following illusion: make mankind believe an alien invasion is imminent. Now, how are they going to project the images in the sky? You refer back to step 2. They're going to use holograms, three-dimensional holograms. Okay, and you can go and just check it out on YouTube. There's tons, especially in Japan. Type in Japanese 3D holograms. You're going to see things that are going to make you actually think you're seeing something that's real. There's one of a dinosaur. It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex coming out of the water. This looks like a real dinosaur that's about to eat you.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely true. And there's actually I think it's in London, that there's actually a place you can go, and they have all the rock stars, and you can stay with the rock stars. You can talk with Jimi Hendrix interact with him for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable. Well, in about 2 minutes, we're going to have a short break, a little song break, and a little flash here. And we'll be returning in the second half of the show to go over more about Project Bluebeam, to wrap that all up, cover the billionaire bullshit, their supposed philanthropy, as they continue to collectivize all of the resources of the world. And then, of course, we'll look at the news and move along forward with that. So with this Project Bluebeam, so you think this is something that, again, they have a target date, like when we were reviewing Soylent Green, like it was 2015 to 2019. Remember that? Mm-hmm. How those dates are on there. What do you think? What's your timeline on this? What do you think there? You think that has any validity?
Yeah, I do, and I think the timeline is now. I think it's been it started probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. Especially with all the weird discoveries that they found, archaeological discoveries over the past 3 or 4 years, particularly in Egypt. And I think it's already happened. I could see it coming to full fruition by 2015.
Yeah, that's what it said on the books in the Soylent Green film. And it could be anything. It could be a storm. It could be a cataclysmic tidal wave that comes across the 30 miles to 100 miles inland on the United States on either shore, right? Or every shore. Yeah.
And I expected 2012, the Mayan calendar, the end of... I expected it was going to happen then. Obviously, it didn't. So we got lucky there, or maybe unlucky. But
they're trying to keep us on our toes and to discredit us, to say they're exactly fools. They're fools. Nothing's going to happen. Like maybe the FEMA Region 3 thing isn't happening in November. But something's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you that. Well, the way I look at it is the more we're prepared and the more we're willing to stand up to the New World Order, the less chance they have of succeeding. And that's That's the way I look at it, and that's why we do what we do here. And at great personal risk, I must say, it is true.